Hi there. Welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. We've got a fabulous episode for you today. I'm very much looking forward to it. My name is Hetty, the entrepreneur, and I am your host for today's episode. But as always, I'm not flying this plane on my own. I do have my co-pilot with me. Papa Biz, how are you?
Now, very good. And I'm very excited that we get to be here in this session today because we're actually sitting with a multi-award winning entrepreneur. And I'm looking forward to the story that we're going to be having.
Absolutely. That doesn't happen every day.
Not every day.
So I'm very much looking forward to it today as well. Today, we are having a conversation with Lindelani Xhanti, who is the founder and CEO of Agrishelves. And I'm really looking forward to having a really good and robust conversation with him. Lindelani, welcome. How are you today?
I can't complain. How are you?
Very, very
Nice one,
good.
Lindelani. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's always an honor to speak to an award-winning entrepreneur.
Multi. Actually, you know what?
I like that track.
Before we start,
Several awards.
Hetty, I don't know if you've seen this. I was checking this again. Look at this.
This is
Look at this.
amazing. Look at this. This is a national presidential award. Take a look at that and feast your eyes. I mean, really, to be recognized on a national level is huge.
And I say multi because please, guys. There's evidence here. We're not playing. We're not playing. There's evidence.
We're not playing games. Look at this. This looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Very, 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 very impressive. And this has gone to from the Township Economy Awards. This is amazing. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I'm really excited to learn a lot more about your journey and what it actually takes to get to this level, because it doesn't just start. It's not just overnight.
Yep.
It's a journey. So let's find out a little bit more about yourself. Maybe tell us about yourself, Lindelani. Where did you grow up? Just your early beginnings so that we can understand who you are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I always say that I was born in Eastern Cape, raised in Mpumalanga, and I was made by Gauteng.
I like that.
So my name is Lindelani Xhanti. So like I just said now, I grew up in a very, very deep rural area at a place called Umzimukulu. And I was raised by my grandmother. I never knew my mother.
Wow.
But I knew her greatest work she did for us. So I remember when I grew up at a primary level, all my friends used to say, "Your mom is a teacher. Your mom it's very famous," but they've never seen her. But they heard about the good jobs that she was actually doing in a village and all of that. So then I grew up there a little bit, then at a primary level, because before I left primary school, then I went to Mpumalanga, a place called Emelo.
Oh, Emelo.
Yes, so that's when now, actually, interesting story. In Eastern Cape, I was doing isiXhosa as a language. And when I moved to Mpumalanga, I did isiZulu.
Okay.
Funny enough, when I passed my matric, I got 100% in isiZulu more than isiXhosa.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why most people, when they meet me, they say, "You are speaking a very fluent isiZulu, but your surname is deeply Xhosa."
Yes.
So that transition for me was amazing. Yeah, so then I grew up, I studied there, but the very sad story is that when I was at matric, my mom was very sick. I was about to be the first person in my family to pass matric.
Wow.
And at the time, my mom was sick at the early stages of the year. And but she waited for me.
Wow.
At the time we were getting results through newspapers and all of that. And I could see that sometimes she was not able to speak, but she could speak in silence.
Yeah.
And she was not able to go to work as well. You can feel that pain. I'm the only son with two sisters. But the resilience in her for waiting for that moment for
Yes. Yes.
then when it was time for us to get the results. Remember, she was not going to work because she couldn't walk and all of that. But the day we got the results, it's just a walking distance from the township to the town.
Yes.
And there is a place where you pass by the graveyard, then you jump into the town.
Yeah.
She walks when she goes to work. That day, to my surprise, when I came back with the results, I met her.
Oh my goodness.
She was.
This is very emotional for me. So when I met her at that day, she was afraid to actually say, my son might fail.
Yeah.
Because he was seeing me sick all the days and all of that. But because I was going with my friends, then they said, yeah, Lindelani's mom, he made it.
Wow.
Then she just cried and then said, this is the moment I was waiting.
Yes.
And I think that's what gave me the strength to be a responsible somebody. Because just after that, then she passed away. Now I had to take care of my siblings.
Yes.
It's between me going to university or taking care of my siblings. Then I had to have a break of a year to balance the equation. And then, but during that time, that's when I started to find out that I'm very good in making sales of something, because at church, I will be very creative in making many things. That will be. There was a time when we went for some service. I will come back with 3,000 in one day. What? I'm telling you. And it grew up and grew up and grew up until when I was starting to work. I still became creative still. In such a way, there was an Indian shop next to my office.
Yes.
That actually the gentleman saw how creative I was. In such a way that after 2 years we met, she called me and said, we want you to create what we call special papers for supermarkets.
Okay.
And I didn't even know what is that, but he saw that I can be good in design.
Yes.
And to be my surprise, then when we went to that gentleman, I was able to generate 15,000 in one day just for designing and printing papers for supermarkets.
Wow, look at that, eh? That's not a joke.
In less than 5 days, I was able to get 15 to 16 retail supermarkets, even if they call them general dealers
Yes.
or mini markets in town, because Emelo is a small town. And then that's where I started to see the creativity in me, which led me to go and study software development. Because I'm a software developer engineer by profession. Many people, they used to say to me when they meet me, they said, a software by profession, then I say, and a farmer by choice. So that's my upbringing right there.
Wow, and I'm actually quite interested. I mean, just to take it a step back. So you say that you had 2 younger sisters as well.
Yes.
So did you guys all grow up at the time then with your grandmother? And what is that experience like? Were there other cousins and around as well? Or how was that set up like for you?
Yeah, so it's my younger and my older sister.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, we grew up in one place. Like I said that we didn't know my mother. We only knew the great work she was doing because she was working. So there were no other people except our uncles.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had uncles and then us.
Okay.
Funny enough, you are bringing that point. So there is the way my mom was so big in the village. She could be able to send money to my grandma and send us little envelopes. so that we can be able to also sustain ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I saw like I was a celebrity.
Oh, wow.
To the community because they were cherishing my mom, even if I did not see my mom at the time. So yeah, so that's how we were growing up, and also we used to eat under one dish. Yeah, so that's this spirit of collaboration and doing things together. We learn it from my grandma as well.
Yes.
So there will be one time for eating, and we will actually use a big dish to eat together. If you miss that one, then it's
you
sorry
miss
for
Yeah,
you.
you missed. And it's interesting because I'd look back and I'll just be thinking in terms of how the saying where it goes, no, it takes a village
Yes.
to raise a child, and this is something completely at play here. And then also, with your mother being such a prominent member of the community to be able to impact you and your siblings like that, it's quite a story. And I think just taking it forward, then how did you go into then software development, and then from how long did that take into the
business.
the business? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for bringing that point. So, like I was saying, I was born in Eastern Cape, raised in Mpumalanga, and made by Gauteng. So there was a time now I had to think about the type of career that I want to choose. Yeah. And everywhere I go, they speak about innovation.
Yes.
And it was a fairly new thing for us. What is innovation and all of that? And then I when I grew up, also what I didn't mention is that I had at the secondary school level, I had an internet cafe. Yes. I had an internet cafe in my place where I would be able to service the community. It was booming at the time. But now I had to learn new skills, how to design and all of that. And I came across that I might be doing something that is a little bit more into creating something out of nothing. Then I started to actually go for the software development. And funny enough, I've done things that are related to software in different universities through programs, not the actual entrance into university.
Yes.
The only software engineering that I did it in VETS, but I also further completed UX design through a company called Johannesburg Software Center for Engineering.
Yeah.
But they call it JCSE. It's linked to Wits University as well. So then that's how I started to actually, and during the time at my university, talking about how that transitioning to business, my lecturer was from Congo. My goodness, he's very good. And he actually told me about the Innovation Hub, business incubation. And luckily enough, the very same Center for Engineering was financed by the Innovation Hub for incubation. It is now called Chimorohong Presinst, which is in Braamfontein. Then during my year of studying, then I started to apply for incubation. That's how I got into business.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then by the time I was at the one for Braamfontein, then when I graduated, I then moved to the main hub in Pretoria, which is in Lanewood. Yes.
Wow. Very, very interesting. So tell us, what does Agrishelves do?
Oh, I love that point. I love that point. So, Agrishelves, it's an agri-tech e-commerce platform
Okay.
that is connecting farmers and hospitality businesses to buy and sell food products online conveniently. I speak like I'm pitching now.
I wanted to say that you have done this before. I can see.
Yeah, so I developed the system myself as a software engineer. At the time, I was servicing, as developers, we develop systems for companies and all of that. But there comes a point where I said, I need to own product and service. And the only way of me owning product is to bring the element of the technology and also connect the other people who own the product through my technology.
Yes.
Then I had to think about what is the product that is on demand in South Africa. Then in my mind came agriculture. Then I started to actually meet this company was not even intended for me.
Okay.
I came up with an idea of connecting agriculture through technology. And I met a gentleman by the name of Mr. Chauke in Mpumalanga. He's a livestock farmer. And when I met him, it was through my business mentor. Most of you guys, you will know the gentleman by the name of KO, who is a hip-hop artist.
Yes. Hip-hop artist.
This is his father, who's my mentor.
I see.
Yeah, so now when I met the Mr. Chauke, I wanted to use what we call business model canvas methodology to find out about the connection between the two industries.
Yes.
And believe you in me, when I met him in the office in Ermelo, he said, Lindelani, you are an IT-related guy. How do you want us to connect with agriculture? Because agriculture does not involve any digital or digitized technology. Then I said to him, just give me a chance. Then I started to apply the BMC methodology, the value proposition. The customer. I was mostly interested in the customer segment because I wanted to know that when he is raising his cattle, how long does it take for him to do that before he sells those cattle?
Yes.
Then he told me that they take close to 2 years.
2 years.
That means you are not making money for the period of 2 years.
My goodness.
Now I'm interested to know when you are selling, where do you sell?
Yes.
Because obviously they need to get also the best price.
Definitely.
If they've been waiting for
so
2
long.
years.
Exactly. And what he said to me is that in the land, all livestock farmers, they sell in auction. Then that's where I started to understand my qualities, because I told him that, I'm sorry, Mr. Chauke, but I can tell you now that if you sell something in auction after 2 years, you are making a loss, because you always compromise the price.
Absolutely.
You see, then he started to actually understand where we go. But here is an important point about me building this Agrishelves company. Then when he said, but where can I sell the product? Then I asked him, do you know abattoirs? Then he said, I've heard about abattoirs.
Yes.
Then I said to him, but you cannot be a livestock farmer
Yeah.
And not know it.
and not knowing abattoirs, because that is your direct market.
Yes. Yes.
And I asked him, what is the role of the abattoirs? He said, they're slaughtering. What? Cattle. And what are you producing?
Cattle.
Then he started shaking his hands.
He's connecting the dots now.
He's connecting the dots now and said, okay, probably what we can, because there was an abattoir closer to where he is. When we went there, because I wanted to lead the way, we went to the abattoir. And then I said to the lady who owns the abattoir, white lady, she said, Lindelani, oh, you're here again. What have you gotten for me? Then I said, I've got what you are looking for.
Yes.
She said, but I'm looking for livestock farmers. Here he is.
Yes.
That's to me.
Yes.
You see. But now the problem which led me to establish Agrishelves was that I knew that when I went to him to the abattoir, he will fail, because the mindset of the small-scale farmers is so small that they think small. Not that I'm making it like a bad thing, but they don't want to think big. Yes. So now when we went there, then I said, okay, here is the livestock that is local, and can you please give him a chance? Now I'm consulting on his behalf. And then the lady said, no, definitely, we are looking for this, that there is the criteria, but we are looking for someone that can supply us with 7 cattle every week for the period of 6 months. Now, he wanted to say something next to me, and then I touched him, don't say that.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was going to say, but I don't have
But I
enough.
don't have. How am I
You
going
see,
to do
exactly.
this?
I still need another 2 years.
You see. Then I said to the lady, "We will come back for that opportunity." Okay,
Yes.
for sure. So what I said to him when we went out of the office, then I said, "I know what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Now it's time for you to phase out this thinking of saying you've got competitors.
Yes.
Now collaborate with other small scale livestock farms so that you can supply in
and
large
meet that
volume."
demand.
Exactly. And then just after that, we had now to add other products.
Yes.
Then I said to them, maybe we want to digitize this agricultural sector. Let's look at the products that are on demand on a daily basis.
Yes.
Then we started to include fresh produce.
Yeah.
We started to include eggs. We started to include fresh meat and chicken.
Yeah.
Now it's no longer the term livestock, but is the meat processing.
Yes.
Because the clients that we actually recruit are restaurants, fast food businesses, private hospitals, those people that are using this product on a daily basis. Exactly. That's how I started to actually create the name. And this very same name, it was not by myself. It was named by Mr. Mdluli, who's KO's father.
Your mentor.
My mentor. And the name Agrishelves, it says this agri means agricultural products, but that are on digital shelves.
Yes.
So we are digitizing all these so that a person can just use their phone in order to order, pay, and request delivery.
Yes. Very convenient.
Very convenient.
And I think what I really like about it as well is that often, when we have discussions with entrepreneurs, policymakers, the news, etc., then they'll ask, but I mean, how are we able to access and make changes in our environment?
Yes.
And, what you're talking about is it's also taking lessons from, you can say, the first world.
Yes, true.
But we don't need to create another Facebook.
No.
So you take lessons from abroad and see how can I implement in our society in a manner that's actually going to make an impact. That's what I really like.
Definitely.
Because that's exactly
exactly
what you're doing by connecting all the farmers together and also working on the mindset.
Yes. That's a big one.
It's a big one because I mean, when you find people in different settings, that's not their fault.
No, not at all.
Their mindset is based on what they expose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes, one needs a helping hand to be able to guide and to connect the dots.
That's true.
Which is brilliant.
Definitely for sure. Definitely for sure. So one of the things that I've done for them as well, after we have established, remember, they actually paid for me to develop this system. At a later stage, they wanted me to be the CEO of the very same thing because they said, this is very special in South Africa.
Yes.
This has not, it's one of few. Actually, it's one, let me just say now, I've got only one competitor in this. So that means the market is so big. Then I invited them. There was a seminar in CSIR because they are staying in Mpumalanga. Remember, there are two and myself. The other one is in livestock, which is Mr. Chauka, and the other one is my mentor, who is in fresh produce. So it's a good combination of experienced farmers and a software engineer and all of that. Then I invited them to actually go to CSR because there was a plenary session speaking about innovation in agriculture.
Yes.
Let me tell you a big story in less than 2 minutes. When I went there were 3 panelists. There was a gentleman from ARC, Agricultural Research Council. There was a Mentiro Foundation, which is owned by Coca-Cola. There was the CEO of Tshwane Market.
Wow.
And when we were staying listening to them, there comes a time for questions and answers. I don't ask questions. I pitch.
Yes.
In a form of asking a question. Wherever I go, I introduce our solution by asking a question. Then I ask that question to say, we do 1, 2, 3, and how can we work together? And there was a professor next to me from Nigeria who was hired by the organizers. He stood up and tell the panelists that I know that you've hired me to come and give advice and all of that. This young man next to me, he was referring to me, has actually gave you a solution on how to digitize and innovate
Yes.
agriculture. So don't speak to me anymore.
Yeah.
Connect with him.
Here's your person.
And believe you in me, that has led me to Coca-Cola Mintiro Foundation
My
to want to
goodness.
invest 4 million so that we can be able to expand our business and also consult, assist farmers to farm. The most important thing that I've always said, especially when I consult to farmers, is that farmers are farming things that are not required by the market.
Sure.
And there's no someone who is willing to actually tell them, because there's something we call customer validation.
Precisely.
It is not for us without us.
Yeah.
You need to go to the end user,
Yeah.
ask them how they want it
Exactly.
before you do it.
Yes.
Because they are part of the process.
Yeah.
Before you actually say, this is the something now that we need to do.
Yeah.
So then the last part of that session from CSIR was when I was listening to the CEO of Tshwane Market saying to me, hear this very clear. He said, he was delivering annual report. He said, we have made 7.9 billion. That was 2019. However, 90% of what we produce does not come from Gauteng. It comes from Mpumalanga and also from Limpopo.
Yes.
It means, therefore, what we consume here is not coming here.
It's not coming. Yeah.
But Gauteng has got an economic-driven kind of,
Yes.
but not products.
True.
Then that's how I started to go working in partnership with Department of Agriculture, farmers forums to recruit. Even when we speak now, just to make it short, we are doing what you call National Farmers Recruitment Drive because we want to match the two, that when these restaurants, fast food, private hospitals are looking for products, then they are always getting the fresh that they need at all times.
Yes.
The reason why we do that is because we have been approached also by Massmart to supply macros and jumbos in Western Cape.
Sure.
But now the problem is that we want to use the geolocation methodology. They come order to the system, it picks up who is closer to that place so that they can deliver closer. Now that's why we are rolling out this.
That's very good.
Yes.
That is
Well, this is quite a journey, and I think
I'm trying to build an empire here.
Oh, you are. You're already doing it, really. Yeah.
I think as we look to wrap up, and this has been quite a journey and a story, and our time is being cut short, unfortunately.
Yes.
What type of advice would you have for, as aspiring entrepreneurs where, they've just started off their journey or they're about to start? Because I know you're also a mentor as part of the NYDA.
Yes, true.
Because I remember, I think it was at the Mamelodi workshop that we did. One of your mentees during the pitching, one of your mentees won.
Yes.
And she just attributed it all to you. And I thought, wow, look at this. Yeah. So what advice would you give to, aspiring entrepreneurs?
I'm happy we are saying that I'm mentoring young people which thinks that they deserve what they did not work for. Discipline and focus on one thing and one thing only is the key. And also not just jumping into entrepreneurship, because you need to actually work first, understand how things are working, and also try to get a mentor, study a little bit. Entrepreneurship alone is a study. True. You need to go to university for that alone.
Yes.
So there's no way you can wake up tomorrow out of... I was listening to something yesterday. I hope I'm going to remember this. They said a real education starts after you have graduated.
Oh.
And that is so,
So
true.
true.
That is
That's
so
when
true.
you start to actually educate yourself in a real world.
Yes.
Because your degree will never give you an experience.
Yes.
So what I will say in short is that the people who want to go into entrepreneurship, I will say this. I'm happy because I'm sitting with the couple. I'm told that this is a couple. You need to get the right partner.
Yeah.
Because once you get the wrong person, you will never achieve what you want because you are going in silos.
True.
Every time. Remember, life begins at home. What you speak should be the same thing, the same language. But once you get the wrong partner at home, believe you in me, your things will be in the darkness until you are actually getting the right people at the right time.
Yes.
Then you can be able to explore. This I've actually experienced a lot, but it starts there. And then if maybe you are still young, you don't have a partner, you need to learn first, go work,
Yeah.
gain experience, and maybe enter into the enterprise development programs before you think about the business. Assist there and there, and then start to understand all these elements. Maybe the biggest tool that I can ever give them is the business model canvas.
Yes.
That is where they can start to understand.
That's
I
true.
call that a business plan in one page.
Yes.
Because whatever that you need to succeed in your business, you can be able to put it on the wall, state your customer value proposition,
Yes.
your cost structure, your revenue stream. It's all there. You understand the framework very well.
Absolutely.
So
Sure.
yeah, that's the advice I can
Sure,
give.
thank you for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Sure. Thank you so much. I mean, I feel like we could talk all day on. We've gotten such great nuggets. It's been amazing. I feel so invigorated by our conversation.
Yeah.
Papa Biz, tell me, what have been your nuggets you've taken from Lindelani today?
Sure. There's two things. I think the first one, and often whenever we have these discussions, I'm continuously taken back by looking at someone's upbringing, and you look at the little parts in their upbringing where, but this person was involved in sales,
Yeah.
and the thing is that we've come to learn and come to see that the most important skill of any entrepreneur, the number one skill of an entrepreneur, is you must know how to sell.
Definitely.
And if you don't know how to sell, you're going to really, really struggle. So I was encouraged, just taking that back, and then also just taking it a bit forward. Some would say, prejudiced in terms of that. I look at the entrepreneurship journey as we've gone through it, and often I see how those because we used to work corporate, and when we went into the entrepreneurial landscape, it became very clear that we had an unfair advantage over some of our competitors, because we worked in the corporate space.
That's true.
There were certain ways of thinking of doing things that we took for granted that others were not.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that as well in what you've spoken about, because your journey and your education through software development. I mean, you've got no business in farming.
Yeah.
But when you are in a corporate environment, and then now you venture off into business, you start to see opportunities differently.
True.
And those opportunities are actually far bigger than what one would be looking at when you look at so-called competitors in the space.
Yeah.
And your journey is just testament through to that. And well done. It's quite a privilege and inspiration to meet someone like yourself.
Thank you.
And I can see why you've been winning all of these awards.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That is such true innovation. Oh man, this has been absolutely amazing. I think my biggest nugget is, the story of your childhood and the story of the impact and role that your mother played. I mean, even as you were narrating the story, I could just feel myself even getting emotional because it is such a deeply touching story. And, sometimes it takes just one moment, one experience that can actually change the course of your life. And all of a sudden, it puts something in you that motivates you, that gives you discipline, that just makes you stay the course. And sometimes we're too young even to take on such responsibility. But I think you are such a prime example of her legacy actually living on.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and so it's beautiful. All of these awards, everything that you are doing, it is for yourself, but it is also in honor of. And I think that this is absolutely amazing. You have created Agrishelves as a product,
Yes.
but you are a product of her.
Exactly.
And I think that is so beautiful. And so for me, it's very encouraging because, you know, as entrepreneurs, we go through hardships. It's not easy. And sometimes you need to hold on to something that keeps you going. And so I think it encourages us all to say, find that thing you can hold on to and keep pushing even when it becomes difficult. So, yeah, we want to thank you for the work that you are doing, the impact that you are making, the innovation that you're doing, even for your mentees as well. You are pouring into them. Please don't grow tired.
Yeah.
Continue on your journey because it's making a huge impact. And we look forward to plugging you even further into our Monetize Your Business
I would really
ecosystem.
appreciate that.
Yeah, you've got a wealth of knowledge that I think can be valuable to the community. So thank you so much. Monetizers, this brings us to the end of this podcast episode. I hope that you are inspired and motivated by Lindelani's story like we are.
Yeah.
Please leave a comment under this episode. Tell us what your aha moment was, what you enjoyed the most. We will certainly leave the details of Agrishelves. Get in touch with them, see what they're doing, see how you can plug into their ecosystem as well. So that is Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. Until the next episode, bye-bye for now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. So we've heard all about mentorship, but are you looking for a physical platform that you can plug into? Well, I've got good news for you. Monetize Your Business workshops in partnership with FNB have been designed exactly for you. If you are an entrepreneur based within the township, then we are coming to you. Monetize Your Business workshops are a fantastic platform where you can get access to masterclasses, fireside chats, networking, and you can also pitch your business for an amazing cash prize, a good boost into your business to help you grow and scale your business. You also have an opportunity to exhibit your products and services to a buying customer base and audience. So if this is something that you're interested in, hurry right now, run, don't walk to www.monetizeyourbusiness.co.za.